Alright guys, I got a question from a site member named Young Cook. And basically his forum post was how to stop double tight end streaks. And what he's saying is he runs 46 defense when he sees a run formation. But when I see double tight end, people like to run two streaks. So I tried to stop it by putting the DNs in deep blue zones and zone to the middle. That will stop them from pass leading from the middle, but having trouble locking them up when they pass lead to the outside while I'm playing man or zone. Who else is having this problem? Well, you're right. That will stop them from leading to the inside because you have the two guys over the top. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about 46 normal. Now, this wouldn't be the ideal formation to stop this, but you can stop it with this. And cover one will work. And basically, I assume you're seeing something like this from your tight ends, which is very, very effective this year. It's very hard to stop. Either they'll hit them on the outside or the inside. Now, what I like to do with this is basically just go ahead and show blitz. And then what I'll do is Willis here who's blitzing, you can just put him on a deep zone. And then move Golson over and put him on a deep zone. So basically they're playing the two mid quarters of the field. And then just stick them just like this. And then you got your guys on the tight end. We're going to go ahead and back them up a couple steps. And then just put them, to the outsides of the tight ends like this. So now they'll get inside position on their man defenders. But they're going to have an issue as far as throwing to the outside because of them. And then the inside is going to be covered up by our deep zones. One other thing you can do if you want, you can go ahead and drop Grant, the guy who's manned up on the running back, into a yellow zone. And it'll just give a little more coverage to the middle. Now, if you're wanting to play all-out coverage, you can put our two guys here, our two defensive ends, on purples. And then just spy a guy in the middle. You should spread your D-line as well, by the way. Now, what I like to do is I'll usually take this guy that I have in this. This is the guy I'm going to use right here. And what I'm going to do is just sit him right on top of the tight end. I'm going to hold right bumper or R1 on PS3, the left trigger. And now what this is going to do is I should be able to bump Bennett coming off the line. It's actually easier if you go ahead and put him in a spy and then use him. And now what this is going to do is when Bennett jumps off the line, he's going to get pressed. So that's going to throw out the timing right off the jump. Now I kind of moved. I'm using two controllers, so it wasn't that easy. I kind of messed it up there anyway. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. Now you don't have to show blitz. You can just spread your linebackers if you'd like. If that's easier for you, that's fine. And then go ahead and, drop Willis in his deep zone. Move Golson over and put him in his deep zone. And then I would put them just kind of like on the inside, a little bit to the inside of both the tight end and my right to the inside of the tight ends. And then what you can do is just basically you can just leave that guy in the yellow zone if you want. He's going to do a pretty good job anyway of just slowing down the tight end if you don't want to press. And then you can use a Willis here or Goldson here to take away the inside. I would usually use a Willis and just run up the inside seam with him. Make sure he doesn't get it deep on me. And they would have a real hard time passing that to the inside. Now, what you also can do is you can send the blitz, because if they're sending both tight ends out, they're gonna have a hard time picking up the pressure anyway. So what you can do is just show blitz and re-blitz Willis. Since you're in cover one, he's already blitzing. Re-blitz the defensive end on the outside, and then on this side with Smith, go ahead and re-blitz him too. And now what you want to do from here is, as you can see, our strong safety is over the outside of Bennett. We want to leave him like that. And the guy manned up on the running back, we're going to go ahead and put him in a deep blue zone. We're going to move Goldson here over to the left some and put him in a deep blue zone. And then we're just going to move Bowman out a little bit. So now you're going to get the pressure off the outside. And yes, they are the two streaks coming from the tight ends, but they're going to be hard pressed to throw this ball and get any type of completion. I mean, I'm not throwing that ball. I mean, right here, he may be able to get it to the outside, but the only reason the safety left him and went over there was just because, you know, I threw the ball to him. So, I mean, he's over the top. We got this man on the outside. You pass lead this to the inside, you may be able to get it, but in most cases, you're not. So, I mean, that's one way, but that's the 46 normal. The way I would go about defending people who's running this with the two seams to the tight end is I'm going to go into 3-4 solid, and there's two different things you could do. One would be cover 4. And what you can do with cover 4 is basically just put the two middle linebackers in deep blue zones and then put the two safeties in yellow zones. Then if you want, you could even spread our line, put the defensive tackle right here in a deep zone, and then just spy a guy. Or you could just leave all three guys blitzing or something like this with a spy and a yellow zone, or a yellow zone from the middle guy right here like this with a spy. And then just shade the coverage down. And now with the safeties, I would just move them right here to the outside a little bit, because you got the two middle linebackers covering the middle. So I mean, they're gonna have a really hard time throwing this ball. You got 4 deep zones back there, so if you lead to the outside, the inside, no matter what, they're gonna have a really hard time stopping this. Just like that. I mean, that was to the inside. Let's go ahead and try it to the outside. Now we throw it to the outside, it still gets picked up. So, I mean, they're going to have a really hard time doing anything with that. One other thing, too, is the blitz. The blitz down from this formation is that sting pinch. And what we can do is just global all of our linebackers in the zones, and then put the two middle linebackers in deep zones. Put these two guys in purples over here, and then, you know, drop one of these guys into a yellow. Or we could do a purple on one side with the yellow on the other side like this, with one of these guys in a yellow, one of the defensive ends in a yellow with a spy. And, you know, right now we're going to have man over the top back here, and then we're going to have the two middle linebackers inside of the tight ends on deep zones. So this is probably the most ideal way to stop it, and they're just really going to have fits with it. Once again, what we're going to do is the blitz audible from 3-4 solid, right bumper, and then up on the right stick. Drop both of these guys in the deep zones. You could even run it just like this, and then just, you know, leave the 3-man rush or spy a guy and have a guy in a purple, or just double spies. That'll work just fine as well. And like I said, even when I pass lead to the outside, I'm not going to be able to get that ball. Just the safeties are too far back off of them in man coverage. And then, like I said, with cover 4, we can just do something like this. You could even, if you wanted to, in cover 4, go ahead and man up the safeties on the tight ends like this, and that would work great too. And then just do yellow zones on the outside instead of purples. And they're going to have just fits with this. You're going to cause a lot of turnovers, and they're going to have problems.